Welcome back to the podcast. We are so happy to have you here. It seems like it's been a minute since we've all been together. And so Rockhound Podcast, we're launching it right now. And we've got a brand new guest on for you guys this evening. And I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
I'm Julie.
I'm Brian.
From AZ Rockhound Expeditions.
In Camp Verde, Arizona.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast tonight. I mean, you've got some huge pretties behind you, so I can't wait to get to the rock banter. This is going to be so good. All right. Thanks for coming. And Kurt, who are you this evening?
I am Waterline Agate. I'm Kurt with Rockhounding.Adventures.
Always sporting the very best in hair follicals. I gotta
just a little bit.
Yep. you've got an unusual talent.
I know, sir. Kyle's jealous.
I am. You can grow your facial hair pretty quick.
Yeah, we definitely have beard wars going on here on the podcast. That's for sure. I feel so left out.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to participate.
Happily. All right, Kyle, how about you?
Well, I'm Kyle with World Rockhounds here in Oregon. I'm actually hop and skip away from Karen over there in the coast.
It is so true. And I'm Karen over here on the Central Coast at Ozone Fine Art Ventures. That's who's in the house tonight. Theo is sad to not be here, but he will be, of course, making appearances soon, including on Kyle's latest rockhounding adventure. Didn't you guys just drop that?
Yeah, the Obsidian trip to Glass Butte was Wednesday. Came out Wednesday.
All right. So if you need a little bit of Theo in your lives, then you can go watch that or catch, he should drop something tomorrow too. So, or you can say hi in the comments.
And it was his first trip ever to Glass Butte. So I'm glad he was able to come away with some pretties, and I was able to help record his first baby find.
I'll have to watch it.
Aww. That's sweet. Did he name it?
I don't think he did.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure you'll get home.
So that's who's in the house tonight, and we'll do a quick shout here. Last podcast, a couple weeks ago, we saw an eclipse. We saw Theo and Kyle finding sunstones or not. And we saw the entire podcast, except for Kurt, because he's probably working on his hair, down on the beach. And so if you did miss that one, go back and check that out. And we appreciated that Dustin Finds Rocks thought that it had a huge tinge of the 2001 A Space Odyssey thing going on there during the eclipse, and we had the classical music going on, so that was very dramatic. I totally concur. And that was really awesome, though. Thanks, Kyle. And if you did miss the eclipse, if you weren't in the pathway, then you can get a real-time experience the first, I think, half of the podcast. He literally let it run, mostly so that everybody could chat in the chat bar. You guys know what kind of facility that was. But it also was pretty darn neat. So go look at Kyle's work of art there on the last podcast. And let's see, James Welch had some video and editing critique. Thank you for that, James. And I have a question for all of you in the chat and the comments. Do you like music in a video or not? So I know that a lot of people have different takes on this, and so we'd love to hear what you think. And I think Kyle has something on his tongue there.
It depends, honestly. It depends on what the video is. Some music does help, but you're not going to make everyone happy because everyone has different music tastes. I've even oh gosh, I forgot what I was doing. I considered making a video and just that's what it was. I was gonna consider doing a live, working on some lapidary stuff. And when you're grinding or cutting rocks, it's super loud. And I've considered doing a live on that, but put a signups as muted, play your own music, or do whatever you want to do in lieu of sound until I'm done actually working on the stone. Because it helps kind of pass time. So you're not sitting there like, for example, last week before last, the podcast, we're sitting there just sifting stones. There's a lot of wind noise. We weren't talking a whole lot. We were kind of focused on what we're doing. The music kind of helps offset that super quiet, like, well, mostly quiet sound except for like the loud wind noises, but still, it was nothing but and then looking up, and then so there wasn't a whole lot of sound other than like some background sound, but music helps fill that in, so it's not boring. Mostly not boring.
Yeah. What do you think, Julie and Brian? Music, no music?
Yes, on the music. I usually add music into every single one of my videos. We do a lot of, I don't know, it usually ends up being funny, I guess. Something usually always happens. And so there's usually like a buildup. And so I build it up, but the music is very low key.
It's subtle.
It's
That's the
very
thing.
subtle. I don't do anything super loud unless, something crazy happens.
No,
But
Julie does it really well to where the music complements whatever's going on. So even if it is something comedic that we did that she captured on film, there's just this very subtle build up to it so that the emotion is getting there before it actually occurs. And then of course, when it does, it's all, worth it at the end. So I think I'm with Julia. To me, the music is important as long as it's not overbearing, you know.
Yeah, I love that answer. And I think that your videos convey exactly that. So mission accomplished.
And that's where the magic of editing comes in too.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, great job, Julie. How about you, Kurt? What do you think? Music? No music?
Music and no music. It really depends on like what's going on. Like if I'm cutting, I'm gonna use rock music because it goes with like the whole cutting process, and then making sure I can like use the like high points in the song to use for the different scenes as for like the reveal and stuff. But if I'm like out rock hounding, I prefer no music unless it's just really windy and you can't hear a dang word I'm saying. I'll try and use some like soothing acoustic music. And unless it's like thunderstorming in the background, then I'll just no music. So lapidary, yes. Rock hounding, not so much.
I think another good thing for it would be if you're doing a lot of talking or explaining, they don't really need music. For example, our podcast, we don't play music during the podcast because we're all talking or we're doing something.
We're doing the same thing. Yeah.
But if there's ever any gaps where you're not saying anything, music kind of helps
Half the
a little
time.
bit.
I think it really depends on the situation. It's situational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so that's awesome. I love the sort of culmination of thoughts, and I know everybody has their opinions, so there aren't any wrong answers. So definitely feel free to share them in the chat and in the comments, because it's just, for one thing, it's really, really kind of cool for us to get that sort of feedback. Like if it was a unanimous, like, oh my gosh, we hate that music or something like that, then, that's something that we can take into account when we are on the fence ourselves or about to make a terrible decision for your ears. So anyways, M.A. Corrupt, Ivan Lopez, Lisa Largent, and all you guys in the chat shared your thoughts and comments last week and the weeks before that. And so we very much appreciate you guys. And I know that you guys are chatting away right now. And so we love you guys all there at the chat and in the Discord all week long. If you want to chat all week long with us, the podcast crew and everybody that's involved, you can join our Discord. Email us in the email in the description and we will send you an invite. While you're at it, if you want to be part of the viewer and show and tell, the next one that we have, send us your beautiful rocks with a description and we shall make you the star of the next show. And so that is the shouts. Let's get into the everybody's week, and we'll start off with you guys. How was your week?
Well, it was crappy.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Brian has been extremely ill for almost 4 weeks now.
Tomorrow will be 4 weeks.
Tomorrow will be 4 weeks. We think he contracted a parasite by cleaning rocks the improper way. Don't open your mouth
When you drop rocks.
in poo water.
Maybe
Okay,
wear
is
gloves,
it too
maybe
soon
a
to
face
laugh at
shield.
that?
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
We
Yeah.
always laugh at ourselves, no matter the
No,
situation.
laugh away because
Yeah,
honestly,
it happens.
It's self-induced.
He did
I'm
it.
an idiot, and I'm
He-
paying for it.
He was unsupervised.
That's true.
His defense.
That is true.
He was left unsupervised.
I tell her all the time, you can't leave me unsupervised. I'll do something dumb.
It's true. He
Wow.
was.
So
And I had this feeling to tell him, you should probably do this. But then I thought, I don't really want to micromanage him. He'll say something. So I'm like, you know what? He'll do it. He's fine.
no, it's so yeah, the how's the week been? Well, it's been a rough 4 weeks, but this week, fortunately, we finally got the primary care doctor and a specialist on board. So we have a course of action that we're following, and it's starting to work. Started antibiotics on Tuesday night, and as you can tell, I'm here tonight, and I'm actually feeling pretty good. And the video from yesterday was yesterday morning's picture she took of me.
It was.
And yesterday morning, I was about ready to tell her, take me back to the hospital for the third time and get me admitted because I'm not going to survive this. But by yesterday afternoon, it seemed like I started turning a corner, able to keep some things down. That was been the biggest challenge, is I was vomiting as well.
Yesterday
So now
morning,
we're good.
I actually drove to Cottonwood, which is his doctor's office is about 16 miles away from our house. And I went in there and I told the people, I said, I'm not leaving until I speak to his doctor. And she says, well, she's back to back today. And I said, I'm not leaving until I speak to his doctor. And I said, this is a serious situation and I'm really scared. And so she came out, spoke to me. But as I was driving home, which was so weird, he called me up. He says, I'm actually feeling a little better. Let's hold off on the hospital. And I'm like, okay. Because I was ready about to come home, take him up to Flag. Because I told him, I said, get ready. I'm taking you up to Flagstaff.
Yeah. So like I said, if anybody that watched our video from yesterday, Wednesday, it was that picture was that morning, and it actually shocked me when she took that picture and showed me back to back, because the first picture that you see of me is actually just before I got sick. I mean, I've lost just about 30 pounds. So I start to look pretty good here, but trust me, if I stand up, I'll look like a skeleton. So
Dang.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are so pleased that you are starting to feel better, and thank you so much for joining us anyway. And I'm confident that all of your fans out there are so stoked to see you. that picture was scary, I gotta say. And so to see you now is like really heartening, and I'm sure you feel that way too.
Absolutely. Like I said, when she showed me the picture of myself, that's when I said, okay, we're going to the hospital, because I didn't realize I looked that bad.
His clothes don't fit him
You know,
at all.
I look like I'm trying to wear my dad's clothes to school or something.
Oh,
It's so
no.
ridiculous.
Yeah, dad's suit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a gigantic guy by any stretch, but I was 205 pounds, sometimes 210, depending on what I was eating the day before, but to drop down to 180,
And not the way that you want to lose weight.
not the way that I want to. Yeah, that's for sure. And yeah, I mean, it literally, my clothes, I mean, you can tell that just even my shoulders are hanging off, which that's just never been the case. I mean, it's always been, yeah. Anyways, I digress.
I'm
My own
sure that you'll
stupidity.
grow your shoulders back.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And his arms. He
Yeah,
lost so much muscle, and
I got some recovery ahead.
he
Oh,
does.
one more season. We were watching the Blue Forest video, and one more trip out to Blue Forest, hacking the ground away there and finding the trees, and you'll be growing those
Pretty much.
muscles back. Yeah.
That's all it'll take.
Yeah.
Actually, just a few more days on our claims, and I'll probably have it back.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, let's do some digging.
Yep.
All right. And so is that was like the probably the big player in your week, huh? Anything else going on?
That has taken up the entire week.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's taken up a few weeks, but on the flip side, our positive news.
What?
You don't want to tell them?
Is she
What?
ready to out the positive news?
I don't. I'm asking. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. This is what happens.
What?
Hamster fell off the wheel.
What?
Hang on, let me put it back. Okay, what was our positive news that we had to share?
I don't know. My hamster is totally sleeping.
We were recently shown as in the top 10 on Rock Seeker for YouTube video channels. We
That
made
is
the top 10.
fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah,
Congrats.
that was so cool.
Pretty surprising because we have 2,200 subs. We're still
Yeah,
new.
we're still new.
We're only 20 months into having a channel, and to be able to rank like that, it was pretty funny because I get Rock Seeker, and I see this thing that says, "Oh, top 10 YouTube channels for Rockhounding." I'm like, that'd be funny if we were in there, just joking, haha. I start reading it, and as soon as it opens up, there's our logo in mixed with all these other logos. I'm like, oh crap.
Is it rockseeker.com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Super cool.
we read the article, and it was very well done in my opinion. I appreciated the words that they put out for us, and just what a good
We're in there
feeling.
too.
Yeah.
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 What?
You didn't know?
No.
Oh my God.
Thanks for
Yeah,
this
you
is
guys are
good
in the
news
top-
for everybody.
Yeah, you're in the top 10 podcasts.
Yep.
So
Oh, really?
yeah, they've
I
got,
thought
they've
Kyle
got
was
two
talking about
lists.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's two
there's
lists.
two
cool.
lists, top
All
10
right, we'll take
podcasts
it.
and top 10 videos. So I mean, I know there's more than 10 YouTube rock hounding shows out there. So
way more.
I think we did pretty good to make the list. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like there's only 10, so they had to
well
put us on it.
earned. Well earned. Yeah.
So
and
no,
the
that was
podcast-
pretty exciting.
Sorry, the podcast is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
No way.
We're at the top
Yep.
of the list.
That's funny.
Thank you for telling us, Brian.
Yeah, ours is like if you were to go down numerically, they don't number them, but I'm pretty sure there's like a numbering there. We're like 8 out of 10, but I can tell you for our channel,
Hey, we'll take it.
we'll take it, and we'll keep producing content and keep having fun, and hopefully people still enjoy it.
Yeah, looks like
man.
the top rock hounding YouTube
That's
videos on their
So,
page
where did you see that, Kyle?
for the podcast
I'm
or
trying to-
for the channels.
Just channels, I guess.
So
Tangent.
Little
so
detour.
yeah, if you're on the page, it says like and new to rock hounding identification resources, podcasts, and then videos.
Yeah.
If you look at the top rock hounding YouTube channels, there is the top 4. AZ Rockhounding Expeditions is number 4 now on top list, and Theo's number 3.
Yay, Theo.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Agate Dad, Katie did, Montana Rock Mom,
Currently rock hounding.
currently Rock Hounding.
Who else is on there? Crystal Collector's on there.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Which one?
I'm totally blanking. Sorry, I've had like hardly
Yeah.
any sleep the past
I
couple of
understand.
I'm subscribed.
That's great.
He does all Michigan Rocks. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. Duh.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I guess for us to kind of be considered in there with the big dogs was actually kind of cool.
Mm,
Yeah, that's pretty
definitely cool.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
dog on the porch.
I said I feel like I'm a first grader asked to go sit with the 6th graders at lunch.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely part of the cool kids. Hanging
Yeah, it is
out.
what it feels like though. So weird. So-
Very cool. Wow, surprises for everybody tonight. That's cool.
So that's
Yeah.
the positive news. So I'm glad we gave you some positive news as well. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Look at
I
the
had no
smile.
idea.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
I'll
thank-
find it later.
thanks for catching us up on your week and all the good
Absolutely.
news. And Kyle, how about you?
I've just been very busy with the rock sales stuff, trying to get orders wrapped, things taken care of. There's actually a lot that happens after a weekend of doing live sales. I wish I had more time to do more lapidary stuff, and lately there hasn't been a whole lot of time for it. Which is unfortunate because I still have those big projects that I need to get done. I've had for embarrassingly too long, and they need to get done and get out the door so I can not have to stress about those anymore. But no, this work, more work. It's never ending. Oh, we did Halloween.
There you go.
I was a prisoner, and River was a little police officer. That was fun.
She was so
Nice.
cute. Yeah, very, very cool.
But that was my week.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And how about you, Kurt?
My week has been good. It's been a while since I've been on here, and I was trying to think is like what all have I been doing. I haven't been on here since before I left for Texas. So yeah, I've been trying to get through all my video footage, trying to edit, and at the same time not wanting to edit because it's just overwhelming having so many different things to try and figure out where and what to edit. And been going out on a lot of hikes, trying to get as much in as I can before like everything gets covered in snow. For Halloween, we went out and hung out with some skeletons. Found some dino skeletons on the walk through time trail out in
Cool.
right on the border of Utah and Colorado. It's pretty cool. And what else was past? The solar eclipse. We went out to Utah. Well, we drove like 4 hours out there and to see the full eclipse, and then found some really cool agates and gypsum crystals and stuff that day. And yeah, just been staying outdoors as much as we can before that cold weather hits.
Yeah, which you guys probably already have snow on the ground, right?
We have snow around on the mountains around us, but nothing down on the ground yet, which is, I would like it to stay like that for at least another month.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Fall lasted like 3 weeks, I think, here. Well, no, because I was in Texas for, I think fall lasted 1 month here for the fall colors and stuff. And now everything's bare and cold.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And as far as my week went, I got a new blade on the saw, so there's been some serious cutting going down, and so we get to see a couple glimpses of that for the shows and tells this evening. I've also been a faceting fool, as you guys know.
Of course.
Patrick Donahue actually threw down a little challenge, like, hey, there's this, I was saying, oh, I love trillion cuts so much. And he's like, well, I have a trillion cut that you could probably do. And so he sent me the diagram, and I went straight to work, and I like want to stay up all night long, just faceting trillions for a little while. And so you guys get to see that. And then like I've been getting ready for a show that's at the beginning of next month, and so I've also been trying to get a bunch of stuff together. So there weren't any hair sticks on the website because they had sold out really fast, and there's a new group up there, and I'm almost tempted to pull them because I need to start like amassing stuff for this show. And so I know that you guys have probably all commiserated trying to get ready for something, and then you're like, well, if it sells, then I don't have anything to take. And so yeah, I'm just trying to get ready. And everybody say hi to my mom because she's watching right now, and
Karen's
she's
mom.
visiting. Yeah.
Hi.
So, mom. And so also busy, but what's new? I'll be busy also for Theo. Like, this is the chaos that we always have going on as far as the busyness goes. And so that's I think that's everybody's week. So let's get into the rock meat of the show here, and we usually like to kick off the inquiry or your interrogation by asking the question, how in the world did you guys get into this rock craziness anyway?
Well, I've always loved rocks, always been into rocks. This is a funny story. When I was a kid, I used to collect rocks everywhere I went. And my room got so full of rocks that when I started going to girls' camp, when I would leave, my mom would throw away all my rocks.
Oh no.
And I would come home and they would all be gone. And I would feel like a part of me like disappeared. And I'm like, why did you throw away my rocks? And she's like, they were ugly. And I'm like,
Mom.
I know, how dare you? Yeah.
and I'm just like, so I'd collect more, and I'd have a whole collection for another year and she'd chuck them again. And so, anyway, so there's always been that in the back of my head. And then, when I was really little, I always saw myself digging in the dirt for something. So I put 2 and 2 together. But, as life happens, my real job, I was a hairdresser for 26 years. And I had to medically retire because I have epilepsy and my seizures became completely out of control. And you can't have a hairdresser having a seizure on you. So
What, holding scissors? Like,
yeah,
what could happen?
She may or may have not nicked a client. The video's a little grainy.
Okay. We don't really talk about it. Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, she's fine.
Okay.
But so I had to quit doing hair, and I was also diagnosed with a couple other things as well around that time. I have also a spinal cord disease. It's called syringomyelia, and then I have Chiari malformation, which means my brain is sagging out of my skull. And
That's just your hamster taking a break.
yeah,
Oh, the hamster hammock.
hamster hammock. Yeah.
Sorry. We have that in our family too. So it's okay. We can joke about it.
I'm not ready to laugh that hard.
Oh,
I gotta
sorry
stop
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then the syringomyelia, it's almost like a tumor inside your spinal cord, but it's like a sac filled fluid.
It's filled with cerebral spinal fluid.
It's like another sac that slowly kills off.
It grows, and as it expands inside of your spinal cord, it cuts off those endings of the nerves that fire off to the rest of her body. So she's got neuropathy in her feet, her hands, part of her legs. She's got some things going on with her face now.
My
Her throat for swallowing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It will actually eventually be the death of her as it continues to take away her auto responses. Like to swallow now, she has to drink water in order to swallow food. It'll start to affect her breathing and all that. And so,
but I was going through a really hard time with that. They were doing a whole bunch of testing and stuff. And as I was healing, I was just laying in bed and just doing the whole, I've always been active my whole life, and to have that all thrown on you all at once, it's like, you kind of get like the woe is me type thing. And I had to keep my mind busy. And so I just started really diving hard into geology. And then I was like, I wonder if I could find rocks that are like really cool in our area. And and then I had this like just idea, let's just start combing our land, because I wanted to find agates. I loved agates. And I was really in pain at the time, but I didn't go because it was around COVID, but they had a conference for syringomyelia, and one of the specialists said, you have to keep moving. You have to keep going no matter how much you hurt. You have to push yourself. And so that's what I just started doing. I started getting out there, and there were places where I did not think I was going to be able to get myself out of in the beginning. And I would cry. I would just hike and cry. It's a big baby. And, but I got out, and you know what? I could go a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further every single time. And pretty soon we're climbing cliffs with backpacks. I'm using hoodies as ropes to grab an agate that's like, 15 feet down off of a 250-foot cliff. Doing dumb.
That actually
stuff.
happened.
It happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to shoot her.
But it was worth it.
It was a cool agate. I've never seen anything like it before, so that one was cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we just kept going, and now like rock hounding is my total medicine. I love it. It takes my mind off of everything. It's just what we do. And
That's phenomenal. That is so cool. Rock hounding is my medicine. Is like the favorite thing I've heard for a while. Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
The best medicine.
Yes. Well, Kyle always says no rock, no walk. So
yeah,
It's 100% true. Ask Amy, because there's been times she's like, "Hey, do you want to go see a waterfall?" I'm like, "It depends. Is there rocks or hiking in general?" I'm like, "Is there rocks?" She's like, "Well, no." I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, but on a precipice that like I need to rappel down, with like a cotton, sweatshirt. Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's why I always carry at least 100 feet of rope in my truck.
That's a good.
We have
That's a
rope
good
now,
idea.
but that doesn't mean we're trained to use it properly, but we have it.
Something tells me you're going to use it. So
It's to get ourselves out of something, not to get ourselves into something.
well, that's his
either
theory.
way.
Yeah.
There's probably a rock involved.
Yeah. Well, for me, rock hunting was a little bit different journey. I've always liked rocks as well, but my first passion was fire. And at 5 years old, I told my parents I was going to be a firefighter when I grew up. And at 18, I graduated high school and started working for the U.S. Forest Service in wildland fire management. And that's what I did for 33 years before retiring last year.
Thank you for your service very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And then when all this happened with Julie, it became rather apparent to me of what my priorities in life were. And that was getting as much time with her as possible because, we came together late in our lives. We've been together 9 years now, 9.5.
Congrats.
But I want as many days with her as possible. And so when she started looking into the geology and said, what do you think about, going out and rock hounding? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we took off every day off I had. We would go out. There was even times after work, we'd go out for another couple hours because there was still enough sunlight and just poke around. And it just kind of morphed into what it did. And that's really where the channel kind of got started, was based on her family and my family, knowing that she had these things going on medically was, well, how is she doing? And nobody really wanted to ask, and it's like
Everybody's whispering in the background kind of thing.
It's like, look, she's
I'm not dying.
well, you are, but
I'm still here.
Right, exactly. We're all expiring at the expected rate. So we're all dying. Let's just leave it at that. That's true. Okay. But she's not like dying, it's like not end of the world. And so she decided to shoot videos and put them up on YouTube and send links to family members to say, hey, look what I'm out doing. I'm still physically capable. Stop treating me with kid gloves or cotton balls, from a distance. And, let's just realize I'm okay. And somebody ended up seeing the video and said, hey, these are pretty good. You guys should make some more. And I'm like, okay. And so
Just more.
it's turned into what it's turned into. And we've just been kind of following it because there was no real plan to have a YouTube channel and try to turn it into something or watch it turn into something. It's just been one strange ride that now, since I retired, we can do this full time. So
Nice.
That's our job. We rock hound. That's all we do now. So if
Woohoo.
we're not looking for rocks, we're cutting them, we're cleaning them, we're trying to do live sales,
We
we're
take-
polishing, we're putting them on the Shopify, whatever.
We take people out. We have 3
Yeah.
agate claims close by, and we take people on their own expeditions. We take them out and hike them out and spend all day and teach them how we do it.
What are on your
Yep.
claims, if you don't mind me asking?
We have
Agate.
everything, everything, agate,
Cool.
everything agate related,
Fortification agate,
plume,
moss,
of every color.
purple, red, orange, yellow,
Blues.
green, blues, so many blues, petroidals, tube agate, druzy. What else? Do we have waterline? We have mostly fortification. I don't think we have any
We have
waterline.
we have fortification. We don't have water line.
I don't recall seeing any waterline out there. It's all
I
fortification.
think that the list all the way up until then was probably padded enough that like anybody would be interested in going out for a hunt on a claim like that.
Yeah, it's amazing what the material we have out there. And as Julie and I have determined since we started just being involved in rock hounding and meeting people even before the channel really started picking up, was just about sharing the experiences and the opportunities with people and making it accessible. That was the big key, is making things accessible, because you can go to some of the gem and mineral shows and you can see those gigantic amethyst crystals they pulled out of Brazil or whatever, but for the price that they're asking, it's unobtainable for most people.
Unobtainium. Unobtainium.
Yeah, there you go. And so for us, it was more like, well, what can we do to make things more obtainable? Well, first of all, share information, about where we know that you can find some good stuff. I may not get you the exact pinpoint, but I'll get you in the neighborhood. Leave some of it up to you. Depends on how much looking you want to do.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the hunt is part of
Earning
the
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's that, but so we don't make anything unreasonable as far as price wise or anything like that. We keep it to where you can handle it, basically. I mean, we're not trying to get rich. There's no goal there. If it pays for the gas for the month, sweet.
And we don't even take large groups out. We take one, like a family, like there's usually 2 or 3 people that are in that same family or friend group. We'd never take more than,
I don't want to take more than 6 people, 8 at the very, very most, because we did have a large group once and it was just like herding feral cats. And so I prefer not to do that. And I think like Julie said,
it's more personal.
It's more personal. And that's part of what we're wanting to deliver people is, if you do follow us on the YouTube channel or our Facebook page or whatever social media is out there, and you have an interest in meeting us, well, coming to the claims, here's a chance for literally one-on-one time to spend and talk, to get to know and share information and all those things. And again, just make it accessible to people. So
it's cool. And then there's also that vicarious pump that you get when people are finding, and that's so infectious. I don't ever get burned out on rock hounding, but when you're at a mine or something like that, and somebody like finds Mr. Pocket or whatever, and everybody just gets that contact high. It's so cool. So I could see why, bringing people to your claim would be like, come over for dinner. How cool is this?
Yeah. And we'll usually find, like a really good vein that day, and we'll pull the material out and we'll share it.
Yeah. We make sure we pull enough that whoever was there that day gets a piece of it if it was a really amazing vein for once. I mean, if it's a crappy vein, I'm not going to waste the time, but if it's pretty cool, then everybody gets a piece. Doesn't matter where you were when we found it.
Like,
that's awesome.
I don't know. Whenever you like, is there a such thing as a crappy vein? You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Okay.
there's a few of them that are
so
pretty degraded to where, if you got a sliver out of it, maybe you could make like a guitar pick with or something, but that's about it. So there are a few of them that are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you get like a moss or a plume vein, there's sometimes sometimes a plume will get deteriorated and it'll just be like a crusty hole. So
it starts getting rotten and it turns to Swiss cheese agate type thing. I've definitely pulled some of that up. And yeah, sometimes you're thinking, I just found the big daddy fin, and you're just so excited here. Kink, kink, that's agate, kink, and you're so stoked, and then it's rotten. But I don't know, for me still, I'm like, I'm out here doing this though. It
I'll
might
still
not
pull
be
it
stuff
out.
that I'm gonna slab and cab, but I just found like Mother Earth.
I'll still pull it out.
Yeah.
Just
Yours is
go at
something
it.
I'll still
majestic
go
about
at
it.
it. Because I'm
Right?
always thinking it's going to get better. It's going to get better.
I'm like, it's not getting better.
Right. It's that thing where that the whole dinosaur is just right there. That's
You
that
know
cartoon.
it's right there. I just
Yeah.
go that much further, I'll get it. I swear. Yeah. But that's, I think,
Three
why
hours
we have
later.
so much fun too, though, is because, we are married and we are each other's best friends. So just going out and hanging out with each other outdoors, because we're both outdoor people, obviously. I mean, my career was primarily outdoors. So I'm happy when I'm out in the woods, the desert, anything related to not having walls. I'm good. So that's my heaven. And rock hounding is just, like the icing on the cake. I always tell people it's a 2-part treasure hunt. First of all, you got to do some research to figure out where they might have hid the treasure. And then you go look for it. So that's your first part. And then once you find it, that's great. But now you take it home, and like a treasure chest, you open it. And when you do that cut, that reveal, and see what you really truly found, and that just, it's double rewarding. I mean, there's no negatives to rock hounding.
Right.
So
yeah. And I mean, as it's getting better and better, I didn't even know you until I started polishing you, and look at how deep you are. And yeah, getting to know you.
Yeah. Oh,
Agree.
your dog wants out. I'll get her.
Okay, thanks.
We knew that was going to happen.
There's my dog.
So, hey, fellas, do you guys have a question for Julie right now?
Kurt, do you want to go first?
I was gonna ask a question, but maybe for both of them.
Oh, okay. Well, look.
Oh, he's back. Okay, so
Oh, I'll let her in if she's ready.
you want to go first, Kyle, or?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll lead. Okay. I'll ask one question, and I'll come back and I'll ask another question. So, if money was not ever a
Option.
problem,
An
object, thank you. My brain's still waking up. I woke up
We're
at
a
8.
whole thesaurus right now, so we got you.
So yeah, if money were not a problem at all, where would you go in the world, and what would you be looking for?
Ooh.
Oh, Nova
Like-
Scotia. Those
Ooh.
agates
Yeah.
on the
On the beach there.
yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty amazing.
I can't.
Bunch of stuff.
The
in
agates.
Is it called Emerald Beach? Is it the Emerald Beach where those they look like candy? They're these agates on Nova Scotia. They just look like candy.
I'll have to
I'm
look it
not
up.
sure which beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know some people who would know.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I almost sent Jason a message like, hey, you want to come sit in the podcast too? I almost
Right.
messaged him, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, Jason would totally know.
Yeah.
We're a little bit west. we're a bunch of Westies over here. Yeah, so that's an awesome answer. How about you, Brian?
Oh, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff down in Indonesia that's caught my eye. There's just a lot of different colors there, and of course the
copper.
oh, you know what? Actually, I have to take it back. I might have to go either with Turkish agates,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and then I've
stuff's
recently seen
amazing.
some that have been coming out of Germany that I had not seen before, and they have got some amazing colors popping in bands in there. I just saw them yesterday and the day before. So I'd have to say I might go to Central Europe.
All right.
Good pick, because when you get done with there, you can always travel around some more.
Yeah.
Already there, might as well just make a trip of it.
Scotland.
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 It's not
My family's not
Scottish.
allowed in Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good fossil fun to be had through
Mhm.
there as well. So yeah, I like your pick. Awesome. Kurt, how about you? You had a question?
So my question that I always like asking, whenever you're out rock hounding or in nature, And being out in Arizona, I know I have some crazy stories with animal sightings. Do y'all have any crazy stories with animal sightings or mountain lions? Because you got Granite Mountain not that far from that area, and yeah.
So I'm going to answer part of it, and then I'm going to leave one of those for you to answer, and you know which one I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Okay. As far as the animals go, through our game cams out on our claims, because we do watch and keep track of what's going on, because we do have some claim jumping issues.
Mhm.
Yeah, which
Horrid.
just so dumb. Come on, people,
That's
just
super
respect the
lame.
rule of law.
Mhm.
Don't
But
be that
anyways,
guy, everybody out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't be
don't
that
be
guy.
that guy.
yeah, stop being that guy.
These
If you
people
want
that
our
are
ag-
watching wouldn't any.
If you want our agates that bag, just
Come over to the house. I'll let you go through the garage and pick out a bunch.
yeah.
I mean,
Or we
friend
can
me.
take you out.
Yeah, we'll take you out there. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal.
There
Find
you
our
go.
poles.
Yeah, stop breaking our stuff. Anyways,
No.
on the cameras, we have found there's a mountain lion that lives on the claims. So we have 3 claims, so it's 60 acres total of mineral rights, all interconnected to one another. So they're not spaced out, they're all together.
Mhm.
And we have video of that mountain lion going off the claim and then coming back onto the claim about a week later. I think we're pretty sure it went down to the river to get some water and come back. So we have that. We've seen a bobcat on the cameras as well. And then of course the coyotes and javelina and all those critters, plenty of rabbits. As far as actual encounters with anything, we've run into a couple of the Coues white-tailed deer. We call them pygmy deer because they're about
Mhm.
half the size of a regular deer. Javelina, I've run into them out there. And that's it. Snakes, that's the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Rattlesnakes.
Oh,
This
yeah.
year, up till this year, we hadn't really run into anything on the claim. This year we've hit 4. So but they were all docile, just like hanging in the rock, like, man, you can't see me, dude. It's cool. Just go your way.
Yeah.
I'll stay right here.
Yeah, I don't want to have
you know.
anything to do with you.
I got one this close to my face.
Oh wow.
It was so close.
She was chasing an agate vein down off of a rock edge a little ways, and in one of the holes, as she comes down, she sees 2 little beady eyeballs looking back at her, like, hey,
It went.
Scared
what
the
are you
heck out of
doing?
me.
You want some of this?
No, you didn't. Yeah.
And I had 35 feet to fall behind me,
Oh no.
or I was
Yeah.
like, or snake. I'm like, huh. I chose snake.
She jumped over the top, but the snake stayed in there. He never moved, never hissed, never did anything. He was
That's
just like,
good.
oh yeah, no, you don't see me. He's doing the hypnotism. You don't see me.
Yeah, see.
What was that old Disney Robin Hood movie where the snake
Jungle
used his
Book.
eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jungle
that
Book,
was
yeah.
exactly what that was right there, man. Real life.
You did it perfectly. Like the entire audience right now is.
Yep.
Just
No, it
silent
was
in the chat.
that was scary because I was about 10 or 15 feet from her,
Oof.
and there was nothing I could have done to got to her if she would have jumped off backwards to get away from it. She'd have gone down 35 feet and I'd have been figuring out how to extract her from the bottom of the drainage. So
All I yelled was snake in the face.
Oh no.
Hey, too.
that was on my birthday.
It was his birthday.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but we've been fortunate. Like I said, they've all been very docile. I'm sure we've passed a few more in
Oh,
our
yeah.
lifetime out there. You just don't see them. I mean, they're avoiders. That's their thing. They're aggressive avoiders, and they're very good at it.
Yes, they are.
So now Julie will tell you the scariest thing we've actually sort of encountered.
We never saw it. We only heard it. And so we had an April Fool's video that we did
This year,
which it is a true story, but we played off of it. So the story that Brian told is actually a true story. But what it was after work one day, he comes home and I'm like, hey, let's go rock hounding for a couple hours. It's summer, so it stays light till like 8:30. And so we jumped in and went out, and we have to cross this.
it's a big juniper grassland with a chaparral understory, brush understory. So you have to go through knee-high grass and sometimes chest-high brush, and then you've got your juniper and pinyon pines and through a drainage and then up onto this this hill where we had found some veins and we were going to do some vein extraction. So,
And it was about what, 3/4 from our truck,
3/4 of a mile. Yeah, probably.
3/4 of a mile from our truck. But you know, you're going over rocks that you can't see in this grass.
It's not fast walking. Let's put it
Yeah,
that
it's not
way.
fast walking. So we're at our point and we're knocking out a vein, and all of a sudden we hear this low gutturally growl. Well, first off, all the birds stop singing. All the crickets and everything just goes
You got
dead.
quiet.
Now, mind you, though, I'm over there with a chisel and a 4-pound maul banging on a rock, so you can hear that noise.
Yeah.
And over that, you can still hear birds and things buzzing around. And all of a sudden, like Julie said, it just went deathly quiet. Yeah.
Which I'm like, it's kind of weird, you know. And then you just hear this low gutturally growl. I can't reproduce it.
I don't know anybody that can reproduce it. I've never heard anything like it. And you got to realize, I'm not saying I'm an expert with wildlife, but 33 years in the woods, I've heard a few animals in my lifetime. I know what they sound like. It was not a mountain lion. It was not a bobcat. It was not a javelina. It was definitely not a rabbit. I don't know what this thing was, but it was big. The noise it made was big, the way it projected it. And I'm sitting there running. I mean, my immediate thing is I dropped the hammer and the chisel and I reached back and grabbed my pistol and pulled it out, which I never do. You can ask Julie. I mean, it's there for protection.
It's the only time he's ever pulled it.
And even though we've had other things happen, I've never really pulled the pistol. It's like, okay, I'm just kind of wait till this plays out. When I heard that, all the hair went straight up and I reached for it and I'm just looking down drainage about 300 yards going, man, if this thing's coming, I got 13 rounds in the 45. After that, I guess if it's not down, I'm dead.
It went
Wow.
on for about 5 to 8 seconds. So he had time to stop hammering. And I'm like, are you hearing that?
Yeah.
And just the noise was so scary.
I've never heard anything like that. And I still don't know what it is.
So we sat there and listened for another 5 minutes. And then the birds came back and everything went back to normal. We never
Yeah.
heard any noise after that.
So we kept working on the vein.
So we kept working.
Still dark.
Priorities.
Until dark, because the whole time I'm like, should we go back to the truck before it gets dark?
Nah,
Oh no,
we got to get this vein.
Oh
no.
my
So
God.
we're now crossing for 3/4 of a mile through this tall grass
Snake country.
when the snakes are coming out.
Yeah.
After we heard that, my imagination is running crazy.
Her, so it's pitch black and we're using cell phone flashlights.
Oh.
We now carry flashlights.
We now
all
have
the time.
flashlights. There's one hanging off my bag permanently. So we always have one in case we do something dumb like that again.
What we do for rocks, I tell you.
That was the thing. It's like, okay, well, we gave it a few minutes and everything kind of went back to normal. I didn't hear any bushes breaking or, heavy footfalls coming towards us. So I set the gun
Yeah.
down, looking down drainage, ting, 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 ting. And we're good.
Wow.
So, but yeah, honestly, I don't know what that was. I can't even hazard a guess. I've never heard an animal make a sound like that. I mean,
It was nuts.
it was the weirdest sound, and you can't describe it properly. I mean, it's one of those things you just have to hear it, and you're gonna be like, okay, a person cannot imitate that. There is no way. I mean, we don't have the
Yeah.
vocal cords to do what we heard.
And I kept saying, "Are you sure that wasn't a bear? Sure? Are you sure that wasn't a bear?"
I would have preferred it was a bear.
Right. Yeah. Then you'd
At
have
least
known
I-
who
then I
you're
knew what
doing
it was.
business with. Yeah. Huh. Are
Yeah,
we
but
thinking like
what's-
Chupa Sasquatch maybe?
Well, that was the thing. So we did the April Fool's joke based off of this story with some friends of ours from Montana that had come down to Rockhound with us, and we had Jake's son,
My son
or
Jake.
Jake's son, sorry, Julie's son Jake, dress up as some sort of thing and be in the background, and all of a sudden we caught this on footage, kind of thing. It was totally just a joke. It's all staged. I mean, not most. Our videos are not staged except for the ones like that. When we're doing an April Fool's, or we did our little crazy infomercial in a Saturday Night Live skit style, the Canteen Agate. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's pretty funny. And
that is,
so we have those types of things that we like to do because we just like to share the humor with other people, and just generate, like for the April Fools, just generate some fun. It was fun. Of course, people took it
but
way
based
too
on
serious.
a true story.
I mean, people are still thinking it's real.
We had a couple people tell us they would not come back out to our claims. And we had to
Yeah.
tell them, look, it's okay. It's okay.
It was my son.
It was the whole series. It's like we did that, and then the next video was my dad taking over the business.
Right, because we're out of here,
And then, and then we had to go on the dirty side of the rock and explain the whole thing.
Yeah. It was a joke, people.
It was a joke.
Oh no.
This is my son.
It's War of the Worlds or whatever all over again.
Yeah, most of the people got it, but a few people struggled. It was so funny. He had his hands up to hold the little shroud thing around him. So he's holding it like this, and people like, whatever that is, it's got some big claws.
Oh, that's funny.
I think we had more fun with it than probably everybody else. I don't know, but
she's one of our Halloween masks.
But all the other videos that Julie does, there's no staging. That's just the footage she caught for the day, and then she compiles it into some semblance where it makes sense for the story of the day, and that's what you get. That's why you see the real life stuff that happens to us. It's
always entertaining the way that you guys, pull all of it off. So it's good. You're doing great.
Well, I always tell folks, if I do nothing else, let me serve as a warning of what not to do. And so we'll be doing a PSA on cleaning rocks properly.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for taking it on the chin there.
Oh, yeah.
For us all.
I'm a team player.
Yeah, right. Kyle, did you have another question?
Yes. So, I mean, I guess we kind of, it's been a while since I've asked this question. But we all know that celebrities must have some kind of like hidden social media account for like YouTube where they watch videos, but incognito kind of. So like no one kind of like spams them in the comment sections. Which celebrity do you think watches your content like secretly?
Oh, probably none.
None.
Okay, if you had a fantasy of like, okay, this person would be watching us, do you even have one of those?
I would say Johnny Depp.
Okay, there we go. I could see him being into rocks.
I can see
I
that.
can too, actually.
Yeah, that actually fits. It really does. Yeah, I can't think I've ever really thought about that, to be honest. Nobody really comes to mind.
I would think he would be into rocks. He would just be, yeah.
I honestly, I don't think much about celebrities, so.
I think
Kyle asks the tough questions,
the tough one. So I know that there's a video that recently came out where Danny Trejo was recently rockhounding somewhere, and I forgot what it was.
Oh, that's cool.
That would have been pretty cool. Yeah.
And then I know that Nicolas Cage, I think he also likes rocks and fossils too.
All right. I would go with Nick Cage because you know what? That guy is underrated in a lot of things that he's done in his life, and I like him.
There we go.
All right. On the record.
I would go with Nick Cage. Absolutely. We'll take him out to the plains. Let's go, buddy.
He's secretly typing in the chat right now.
Right.
He would be fun to go rockhounding.
I think he'd be a blast. But
if we went with Johnny Depp, I would totally make him do like Jack Sparrow the entire time.
Like that's a stipulation for coming on the claim is like you have to come in character though.
Does anybody ever not let him do Jack Sparrow anymore? I mean, isn't that just like the way he presents himself nowadays?
No, he's not like that.
I thought he just stayed.
Or was Jack Sparrow actually him like the whole time?
I think so.
Ooh, there's a question.
I think there's some channeling going on there. So. Somebody channeled the inner pirate.
So. Yeah, that's a thing. Channeling inner pirates.
Oh, actually, other than Nick Cage, one other. Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
all right, there you go. That's a good one.
I think he would be an amazing individual to spend the day out in the woods with, just rockhounding, just enjoying the moment, because
he's a cool
that
dude.
guy's in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just got
Does
that
he have
Zen
to play
thing.
Neo the whole time?
He's got
no.
Okay.
No.
I want the normal Zen Keanu that he is. That dude's just
he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But make sure he brings his John Wick skills, so Big Bear comes out. He can just take
I
the
was just
bear.
going to say,
Yeah.
John Wick skills required in
wick
case
you
we
can
hear
bring.
this thing again.
Yeah. I want some lessons.
I'm sending you after it.
Yeah.
I got your back. I'll be on the hill.
Nice.
So
All right.
yeah, that would be mine. Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
That would be a blast.
Excellent. Good answers. We had to
Yeah,
pull it out.
I don't think we've heard those before.
Yeah.
Well, we're not your normal people over here.
That's a good thing.
Never normal.
Yeah,
No.
it is.
Normal is
Kurt, do
highly
you have any
overrated.
more? Do you have
Yeah.
any more
So
questions?
I have a question that sometimes I ask it, sometimes you ask it in the past. What's the weirdest thing you've ever found? All out rock hounding.
Oh, it just so
it
happens
can
to
be
be.
a rock, it can be a bone, it can be anything.
Wow.
This is from our
That's-
claims.
That's wild. Nice.
That's cool.
That's
Too bad.
fantastic. Were there squeals involved when you pulled that up?
No, it was inside of a vein like that.
I'm sitting
Oh,
with
weird.
that in the vein.
Wow. No screams, no squeals. It was just
No screams, no nothing. Like
Okay.
it's not I don't think it was ever alive.
It looks
Well,
like
I don't
one
know.
of those
It
fish
could've
that's
been-
down in the dark though. It's got the little light bulb
Right.
thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like a coelacanth or one of those angler
Yeah.
fish. Yeah.
Anglerfish. That's it.
Angler agate.
Yeah,
There
look
you
at that
go.
lower jaw thrust, man.
TM.
I don't look at that. Ah.
Well, yeah, I would have been so stoked to like all the bats would have crashed out of the sky. Like, I would have squealed so hard.
Well, it was so encrusted with mud, we weren't entirely sure what we found.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
just
hold on.
So we started cleaning, and it's like, oh,
shoot up
it's got some tube agate. That's cool. And then we got it home and really clean it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's all tube agate.
And there's its
Wow.
Oh yeah.
there's its brother.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah.
those are great
know.
specimens.
That is really cool.
There you go. Nice.
Kyle
Yeah.
must have some now.
Freestanding tube agates.
Yeah.
I need that for my collection.
Isn't
No,
that crazy?
That's definitely
That's really
shelf worthy.
I don't know. This one's pretty
Yeah.
crazy too, though, Jules. I mean, that might be the craziest thing we found.
Yeah, monster.
So we named it.
All right, what
Let me
is
grab it.
monster exactly?
Well, we're not sure.
Well,
Okay,
Monster is
come out and play, monster.
oh god, it's a conglomeration of 27 pounds of different things. Hang on, let me get up here. Okay.
Wait, let me take the little
Its
awesome.
massive size already feels awesome. Like,
There we go.
see if this
Yeah.
is
Your screen? Yeah, you
could have
you're a
been.
mess.
It could have been.
Okay, so
wow.
primarily agate, botryoidal and druzy. That's got some druzy in there. I don't know if I can get there. We go. There's some sparkle.
Yeah, it's catching the light.
Yeah. That looks-
Yeah.
That is a huge
Amazing.
cave.
And then we have calcite related
Right
to it,
here.
all in the back.
Yeah, like
But
With another
bunches.
cave.
another druzy cave
it's
there.
like a turkey. You put some stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. You can hang all kinds of stuff in this.
You should
So it's just, hang on, I'm losing it. You got it?
I got it.
Okay, yeah, it's 27 pounds. It's not exactly light.
7 pounds.
Dang.
Anyway,
That's
this thing
cool.
let's show the front here. This
All
is that's the front.
Oh, that's so gorgeous.
Do we have a
Wow.
light?
I don't know.
Flashlight?
Somewhere.
Anyway, it's not really showing the
It's not
color
showing it
all
as
that
well as it could.
So
but-
when you see it in person, it's unreal.
Yeah.
When you take pictures of it, it doesn't do it justice. But when people come over and they see this thing, they're just like, I've never seen anything like that before.
the
I'm like, I know, neither have I.
the shape that he was just holding it at, it looked like a face from the boogeyman from Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh yeah.
That's
like
too
the
bright.
big mouth and the big eyes.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
See if
See
I can
that?
diffuse it a
No.
little.
Nope, it's still not
Oh, it's
working.
too bright.
Too bright. Yeah.
Too bright of a
Yeah,
flashlight.
it's
yeah.
rough for Zoom to get
Yeah.
fidelity, but I mean
Yeah.
that thing
Yeah.
is really actually doing a good job of being extraordinary even this way.
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh,
impressive,
that.
you guys. This is a great
Yeah.
transition into the shows and tells, eh? Like
Yeah.
you guys are there.
Yeah. So yeah, Julie found that. And actually all she found was a little tiny piece about this big. about that far sticking up, and it wasn't even that one. It was another smaller one that led to that one.
The tip of the iceberg effect. Gotta love it.
Yeah. And then this is another one from our claim. It's got these
Wow.
druzy tubes inside that are they're
yeah.
purple.
Yeah, you
Wow.
can't see the color
That's
on
cool.
that for some reason.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
you can't see the color.
And that's got a resin coat to preserve it because we didn't want it to get
That's gonna be too bright again.
lost. See if I can get in there for the purple.
Although we're
Yeah.
getting some like very nice glowy backlighting. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Working on it
Okay,
here.
I can see the
Nice.
purple.
Yeah, the
There you
little
go.
spelunking there. Yeah.
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 Just got to get
Very
it just right.
cool.
But yeah, that's just
Beautiful, you guys.
and all I saw sticking up out of the ground was just this.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
I was not supposed to be collecting rocks this day.
No, we were actually on a different mission that day. Well,
you
we
were highly
collecting.
unsuccessful.
Well, we were kind of collecting, but it's a whole nother story that I don't think we really want to
Yeah.
get into. But the main thing is we had a specific mission that day to confirm a couple of things out on our claims that there were some things going on,
Oh.
and we had to cover quite a bit. I mean, like
Quite a bit of ground.
10 miles that day, and
wow.
stopping every so often to grab rocks or throw them in my bag and whatnot was really slowing us down from reaching the objective. And so I reached a point where I said, okay, no more rocks. We got to go. And I didn't go more than 30
Nonsense.
feet.
Yeah.
I didn't go more than 30 feet. And
Wait,
our
stop.
adopted son, Craig, we call him that on the channel all the time. Craig's one of our good friends. He's part of our, what we call our crew, the AZRE crew. He comes out with us all the time to the claims and helps out and whatnot. And I hear Craig go, "Did you find something?" And then he says, "Put your hammer away before he sees you." And I spun around and she's over there digging away on this thing. And I'm like, I mean, it'd already been a stressful day because of what we were trying to determine that day. There were some shady things going on. So we were trying to get to the bottom of some of that. And it took us having to walk the entire claims to find out what was going on. And so I was really not in a mood. And then she pulled that thing out and I washed it off. I'm like, okay, that's a keeper. And threw it in the bag. Then we walked out. So, but she does that though. She finds things. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, some people, we've kind of, in a funny way, nicknamed her the agate whisperer, because you'll be walking along and all of a sudden she's just like, oh, right over in there. And you just start digging and it's like, how did you know there was a vein here? There's no logical reason for it. She just gets these senses about where something should be. And I doubted her for the first, I don't know, half a year of this. And then after being proved wrong every time.
3 years.
All right. Well, your perception of time and mine aren't the same, but
You know what? It's on the shorts.
it's on the shorts.
It's on the shorts.
I've doubted her a lot, and I never should, because she's hit it every single time. I mean, it doesn't matter where we go. She finds something. I mean, the Blue Forest was a perfect example on that video. We were literally driving out, we stopped for the night. Next morning, get up, we're going to drive out, pick a spot, go check it out, see what we find. Figured that we're going to get skunked, right? Because everybody's telling us how hard this is at the Blue Forest. And she goes, "Stop here. We're going to dig right over there in that hole." And I'm like, all right. 10 minutes later, I'm finding my first piece. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then we found, you saw those other ones.
Yeah. Totally.
And it was
cool.
like, how? But that's what she does.
It's what I do.
Well, that's cool.
Makes my life a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's handy to have around when you don't want to get skunked. Yeah,
All I have to do is say, "Hey, where do you want me to dig?"
very cool.
Isn't
Well,
it witching
sorry.
rods or dowel rods where like they like use it to look,
Dowsing
Yeah.
rods for
Yeah.
water.
except it's not with water, it's for rocks.
She's a rock
Rocks,
dowser.
yeah.
I just have to go like this.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So what other show and tell did you have?
Yeah, shows and tells.
If you want us to keep going,
Yeah,
you want-
please do.
let's go to this one. Let's get the big ones out of the way, please.
You want to do the okay, so my Dugway
Thunder egg.
Thunder Egg.
That's
Ooh,
a good
I'll
sized
say.
cereal bowl right there.
Yeah,
it
right.
is.
Quite a
Salad.
large one.
Yeah.
I found this one when I had a broken foot.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see,
Are
it's
you recommending that we all
it's
break our feet to become
massive.
rock dowsers? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Did you want to hold your rock?
No, it's too big.
Good. So yeah, this is one of
Beautiful.
the largest ones that we've heard of being found out there. And what she saw on that one
Was the belly button.
was about that much sticking up. Oh, you can't even see about this much of it right here.
Oh,
No
wow.
way.
Sticking out of
That's
the
awesome.
road. I kid you
That's
not.
lucky.
That's what she
road?
saw. And told her son, dig that out. And this is what he pulled.
Nice.
Oh, to
Well-
be the rock dowser's son.
Okay, so my son and I, we had a rock hounding trip planned, but I had broken my foot, but I didn't want to cancel. So we took the trip anyway, and we're driving, and I had my foot up the entire time because it hurt so bad to leave it down. But we went to Dugway and Wonderstone and Vernon and stuff like that. So we come home, and then I went to the doctors, and they're like, "You broke your foot." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." So then I got casted.
Sorry. But we were rock hounding, so
I
yeah.
had to rock hound first, and then I
Right.
had to go
Yeah.
get.
I ended up missing that trip. I
You were on a
I
fire.
was still employed and I was on fire
Mm.
assignment in Washington State. So
Yeah. And he's
Sorry
like, "You
about
broke your
that. I know we tend to like the whole PNW seems to go up a lot. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So we have that one. What else did you want to show?
I have so many.
Did you grab the TV agate
The TV. What?
from the one that you with the sweatshirt? I mean, you told him that story. You might as well show them the agate we got for it.
The sweatshirt. Oh, I found this agate. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It has iridescent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I can see
yeah.
Wow.
but
It's an agate, but it's
It's
iridescent.
iridescent. We haven't seen another one like that, and that was on the claim.
Oh wow.
So
Start
we're
digging.
trying to find more of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good idea.
So I'm not gonna touch it to do anything. I just think it's cool because it's iridescent.
Yeah.
Got to
for
find
sure.
more of it. Then we can start messing
Yes.
with it.
Totally.
100%.
But
That would be
unless
so
there's
cool
more
if
of
you
it,
got like a new thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
I'm not telling you anything that
A
you
new
haven't
mineral.
thought of already. I'm sure there. Like, would it be a new thing?
Here's a purple and orange. Wow, the purple does not show up.
it does a little bit.
now
Yeah,
the
you
zoom
can see
camera.
some of that in there.
Zoom
Yeah,
cameras
you
are
just-
not that
No.
good.
It's gonna be too bright. Maybe
You never
your
know.
Ooh.
Oh, there's some purple showing.
maybe your
Yeah.
your
No, you can see the purple. There it is.
maybe your light on your phone.
Oh, my phone. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
try that.
The light on his phone might actually work better. But
Try that.
let's see.
Not
Here.
really. You do it. Yeah. I'm not the person to do this stuff.
Nope. The purple does not show up.
There, a little bit right
Just
there.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
gives at least a little tease of the hue. Nice.
Quick
Yeah.
question.
Exactly. At least you got an idea. So
Does any of y'all's agates on the claim UV reactive? So like black UV lights?
Yes.
Cool.
Some of them.
some of them.
Like just the whites. Sometimes it's either yellow or green. Sometimes orange,
Sometimes
actually.
orange.
Sometimes orange.
Yeah, sometimes they'll fluoresce
Yeah,
orange.
Nice.
Oh, okay, so this one wasn't on the claim, but this was it was close to the claim. This is a
Pretty.
crazy piece of tube agate here.
We like the really strange and unusual looking ones. That's like our favorite thing.
Yeah.
So I do. I love
with
these
you
things.
guys.
It's like it's just so cool. You know,
Mhm.
Mother Nature gone crazy. This is what happens in spring break.
Right. A spring break rock.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mother Nature's just Daytona Beach.
So, and then this is I don't know if you can see the color on this one. It's purple druzy. This is what we found on our claim.
Technically, it's
Mm,
amethyst.
Technically, it's amethyst.
nice.
Nice.
That's
Oh.
gorgeous.
We've got some amethyst going on our claim. Hard to find though.
Yeah, it is.
Found that on a
I should
cliffside.
grab a piece of that one we just found that I just cut before I got sick. From that vein that I just pulled.
I can't remember which one.
The crazy with the yellow and all the other
Oh, I don't know if that'll show up,
I don't know. Let me grab a piece to find out.
but
Race to find next months.
yeah. Let's see. We have many others. This was on our claim. This is a druzy, and there's like a little calcite rose.
Yeah.
That's
There.
really pretty.
That really is.
Very cool.
So there's that. Brian just found it.
Yeah, let me see if I can get these to show. All right, here we go. It's just the first slab of it right there.
Ooh,
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Pretty crazy designs going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was a vein that I thought was going, you can see the backside. Sorry, a little bit of water, but it's not wet. That's what the outside of the vein was looking like, and it's crusted with dirt. And I'm like, I think it'll be okay. And so cut it, and yeah, let me show you the rest of it now. This is where it gets really cool, in my opinion.
Don't drop it on.
No, I got the water off there.
Okay.
Take a look
Oh,
at
yeah.
those.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
That's
fun.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
so
Seen
pretty.
anything like that. So this is a
Awesome, like
recent
geometry stuff going on.
Yeah.
find. Yeah. So that's a recent find on the claim, and
Nice.
we'll be going back to pull some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that were out with us that day, everybody got a chunk. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
they get to take a piece of that home. Yeah, it's a unique find in our opinion. So
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite agates. I don't know if you'll see the depth of it or not.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
That's
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much
it's
depth in
great.
that.
Yeah.
yeah, everything's just suspended in clear agates.
This
what it
is
looks like.
this is all clear, but there's like these little they look like little pom-poms. There's one here and then one in the back, and then the same right in through there, and then that's just cloudy. I don't know, it's just really
Gorgeous.
cool. And this is the one that I showed my mom, because I said, Mom, I said, a lot of my rocks look like this. She goes, yeah, those are the ugly ones. And then I showed her this, and she's like, oh, wow, well, maybe I shouldn't have thrown those away.
You had to have the
Way
mom I
too
told you
late.
so rock, right?
We talk openly about it. She
Yes,
knows.
yeah.
No, right on.
But oh, my little tiny ones.
Oh no,
We
look out.
do. So we also have found grape agate.
Oh, sweet.
These are like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's cool.
and we've just found like little pieces of it, but I mean, it is druzy and purple.
It's coming
Where
from
there's one, there's
somewhere.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been collecting like little tiny pieces of these.
Keep finding little pieces here and there. We're gonna narrow in on the source eventually.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my I have an entire shelf of botroidals.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find my corn agate.
I don't know what you do with that one.
Well, there it is.
There you go.
We've only found one of these.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is really neat. What an interesting configuration.
Yeah,
The crystal structure is like wild.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Are those dogtooth calcites on there?
It's almost like a pseudomorph of dogtooth calcite,
Okay.
but it's agate.
yeah.
Oh,
Wild.
that's interesting.
That's the only one we found out there so far.
And the very weird thing is if you look at if you look at them really closely, they have lines like an actual horn would have.
Oh, wild.
Striations, like it's weird.
Interesting.
No idea.
Very, very weird. But yeah, so we have just these really weird specimens on our claim, and you can find just
I mean, we got normal stuff too.
normal stuff. Don't get me wrong.
But the Abby normal stuff is kind of extraordinary. So
Yeah,
you gotta,
normal.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
This is good
you've
stuff.
met us. We're Abby Normal. This
Yeah.
we're amongst our peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Totally. Love it.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Wow, what
we have
an
regular stuff that's
extravagant
beautiful too.
eyeful you guys have shown us. You are so lucky to have such a neat variety on your claims. You got to be so stoked.
Her research, that's what led us there.
Oh, good on you.
If she wouldn't have put in the research she did, I don't think we would have found the area. So yeah. I'm very grateful for her because it's a candy store for rockhounds.
It really is.
And you know, and we
Fantastic.
tell people jokingly, but not jokingly, because I don't want you to swing a dead cat, but you can't swing a dead cat without hitting an agate. You know, I mean, it's just agate,
Yeah,
agate, agate.
I
You
accidentally
know,
use that terminology quite a bit myself, so I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I mean, I don't want anybody to actually come out and test that theory, please.
Right, right.
Keep your dead animals at home, but
Not exactly long what the variety of length is on that, if it's like a, meter or
yeah,
what.
is it one of those Manx cats that have the little nubs, or are we
Right.
talking,
Yeah.
full on
Yeah.
plumy tail? What are we dealing with here? But
Maine Coon
on-
size.
Yeah.
mountain lion tail.
Right.
There you go.
The episodes that we're doing right now, we went on our rock and road trip, that we did 10,000 miles in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
But before that, most of our videos are done on our claim or close to. I mean, it'll say like if we're at Saddle Mountain or Lake Pleasant or something like that, Luna. But if we say we're south of Camp Verde, we're on our claims. And then at the end of the episodes, we usually have a rock reveal, which is the bane of my existence because it takes me 12 hours to do those.
Yeah, but everybody loves it because that's the cool part is you see what we're looking for, either surface collected or extracted out of the veins, and you see it in its raw, rough form. And then I come home and clean and put a cut on them, and then she takes them into her homemade photo booth and does the picture. And it's funny because everybody thinks we've either polished the rock or we've photoshopped it or something. Not everybody. People have said this to us, and it's like, I don't have time to polish that many rocks, number one.
We don't have time for that.
And number two, if you know Julie, you know for a fact she's not going to make anything not look like what it actually looks like. She does not Photoshop something to make it look better than what it is. She makes sure that when you hold it up and you look at a video, it's the exact same thing. That's why she spends so much time with her photos, because not every rock's photogenic, we have found out.
No.
So
sometimes I'd rather
It's
take
an
a
art.
picture of a 2-year-old crying.
Yeah.
yeah,
Totally heard
because
that.
the lighting will be perfect for one rock, and then the minute she puts in a new rock, she's got to reset all of it. And when you're showcasing 50 to 60 rocks, that's a lot of time that she's putting in. So, and that's what I want to do, is make sure that people understand how much time and effort Julie puts into our videos. That is all her, 100%. 30 hours minimum, usually 40 hours a week, doing nothing but video editing to put out a 15-20 minute video once a week. And then rock hounding on top of that, taking people to the claims on top of that, and everything else. I mean, but that's the genius of this person, her creativity. She's just,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm amazed by her. It's like I tell people, if you want to know if you have a good rock, a good whatever it is, doesn't matter if it's agate or anything else. If you want to know if it's a good rock, ask her, because she can look at something and she sees it for the potential that it has, not for what it looks like it right there at that very moment. And that's the difference between her rock hounding and my rock hounding. She finds exceptional stuff. I find mostly interesting stuff.
That's a sweet
Because she sees
appraisal.
things for what they can be, not for what they are at that moment. And I don't think that way. My brain doesn't work like that, but I watch her do it. She's over there. Oh, there's a little hint here and a little hint there. Yep, that one's going to be pretty good. And I'm like, piece of garbage. And then I cut it open and I'm like, and I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's awesome. It's nice to have another half that can lend a different sort of expertise to the picture.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, we definitely balance each other out.
Fantastic.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your shows and tells. That was like such an eyeful. Thank you for all the candy. And I think that a bunch of us are thinking that we need to take a field trip out to your claim badly.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Come
I
on
know
down.
Kyle's over there simmering like, how do we get over there? So
We'd love to have you.
Come on over.
It's the right time of year for rock hounding down here. So
Yeah. We
yeah,
hardly get
and
snow.
it's wrong for some of us. So that's awesome. Kurt, do
Yeah.
you have some shows and tells for us?
Yeah. So, well, so the first show and tell, I sent Kyle a picture of it. It's just a new piece of equipment. I had a company called Vivor, I think, reach out by email and wanted me to do a video review on their product. So they sent me a ceramic pottery wheel. And I didn't realize it doesn't come with clay, so there's no review with using it just yet. But I have some clay in the mail coming here, so we'll be doing that soon. And I've been wanting to try making like mugs and bases and stuff for a long time.
Cool.
I guess like since the last time I was in Arizona, when we lived in Arizona, and going through Jerome and seeing a lot of the cool handmade pottery there.
yeah.
And as far and then like for like actual show and tell, whenever I was in Texas, I went to a private property land on Lake Travis, and this area, which I haven't had time to edit the video yet, but this area of Lake Travis is on the upper side of the lower Colorado River, and I used to be able to find, at the time I thought it was just flint everything, but now since my knowledge is a little bit more, it's agates, jasper, and flint and chert. And so we went and I got permission from the owners of it now, and we went up and dug in the area and found some cool
Easy.
spear points.
Wow.
I think this was more.
Wow.
I think this one was more of a knife than a spear point, but we do have some nice spear points made from the flint in the area. There's another one, and
Those are pretty big.
Wow.
Massive.
yeah, I'd probably say about 2 3/4, 3 inches. This one's about 4 inches. Some of them have some crinoid fossils like embedded on the inside of the flint.
That's awesome.
And so I can't wait to get that video out. And there was also all of the arrowheads that I have in my collection that I've framed in the past are from this area. This is a nice little drill point. The tip's missing, but
Yeah.
super
That's
cool.
awesome.
Wow.
And then whenever we went out to just watch the solar eclipse, we found a lot of cool agate and then a bunch of cool gypsum crystals.
Ooh.
So I have like probably half a gallon full of these crystals that we picked up, and these are really pretty. And this is gonna be hard to see in the camera, but when we went hiking over in Grand Junction a week ago to one of the locations I haven't been to in a while, I found this large piece. This is all jasper, but it looks like a septarian nodule. You have orange, red, and like blue chalcedony agate running through it, and then the rhyolite on the inside.
It does look like it's Septarian.
What?
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It almost does look like some kind of variety of a Septarian.
yeah.
It does.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild looking.
yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty much my show and tell. Crap.
Wow, thank
So-
you. That was like, that swung through like all the way from artifact through like, something wild that you'd see in the strange part of the museum. That was very cool. Thank you very much for that. Good. And how about you, Kyle?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That guy. He looks
Well.
around. Is there anything?
Oh, actually, no, I do have something. I'll put another video or picture here. Let me get my face up here really quick so I know where to
I
look.
see your face.
Well, thank you.
Gonna
Okay.
have more face.
All right, replace spot. There we go. Hello. So first of all, any tweeters. So a while back, Patrick stopped by and bought a bunch of fasting material, not that one. And so he bought sunstones, a bunch of like some tourmalines, some other stuff here in the shop. And I gifted him some fire obsidian since he was here. I'm like, here, you can have this. Play around with it. And yeah, I'll take another picture and I'll put it here for our podcast friends tomorrow. But he fasted. Where might that light go? Well, that light's missing, apparently.
Oh no.
Oh, that light's working. Cool. So what we have here is a faceted piece of fire obsidian.
And it is
Ooh.
insane. Let me just report that it is incredible the way that so this is the same person that talked me into trying a different shape, and he got the top of the fire obsidian perfectly there in the crown where it's just throwing rainbows. It's just so incredible what he did.
Wow.
And so like I said, I'll put another video here, and it doesn't do this piece justice. So how he faceted this, like not only did he capture the fire layer, but it gave off another like it's almost like like rainbow prisms. So if you're looking at this from like a certain light angle from this way, it'll just like shimmer rainbow like all the way around it. And the videos don't do justice. Like we were trying to record. I mean, luckily, like he like this is mine. Like he presented two stones. Like here, pick one. I'm like, okay, which one do you like better? He's like, no, you go ahead and pick one. I have more fire obsidian to play around with. So I picked this one, and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to get a better picture of that because it was really cool. Like I could see it in person. Like man, that's really stunning. But like when I try to record it, no matter what I was doing, I couldn't quite capture that really beautiful like rainbow dance around with all the prisms and everything. It's quite stunning. And so Patrick, if you're watching, thank you again for the stone. I kind of want to at some point make something out of this. I think I'd like to have a ring, I think, because I've always told myself I want a fire obsidian ring, and I think this would be a good stone to do that with. It's a very it's simple and elegant at the same time.
And incredibly unique. Like nobody's gonna guess like, oh, that's a rainbow obsidian that you have there faceted on your finger. I mean, it's so rare. Like incredible.
The only downside to having obsidian cut stones, you really have to watch what you're doing when you're wearing jewelry with obsidian.
Yeah.
I mean, it's glass. It's
makes sense.
Yeah.
But that was my show and tell.
Oh.
Karen, it is your turn for show and tell.
Kyle, thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'm glad that was your show and tell. I did want to see that again. I think we got to see it on one of your live sales when he presented it, or was that when you did that?
Yeah, the live sale, and I think, and then did a community post, and then a post on the Oregon Rockhound page.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you did actually catch some of the rainbows when you guys were trying to show it off on your live. And I was like, just no way. Because what Julie and Brian were saying, you can't photograph rocks. Like it's so hard to capture all of its beauty, no matter how good the picture looks. You know, it's better in real life. Just fact. So yeah, you did a good job, Kyle, and thanks for showing that off. And thank you, Patrick, for being such a influence, because my show and tell is also a Patrick Donahue thing. I sent Kyle a picture of a sunstone that we mined over at the Spectrum mine. And I had been kind of whining, I think, about like, I wish I could do some trillions, but I'm kind of more of a beginner faceter, and I'm so cutting my teeth literally still. And he's like, oh, you can totally do this one. And so he sent me the diagram, and Kyle's put it up. I cut this one with some Schiller in it, and absolutely hooked. Like I said, like I want to facet all night and all day and just make this shape. I know that there are other shapes and I'll be excited about them too, but this is so pretty. And so I've now set it in a ring. It's too close. Stop, Karen.
I can see right through
it. There's no way to get a good picture, like we said. So Kyle also has a great picture of this, but one of the things Julie and Brian were talking about loving unique things, and there are orthodox ways of setting faceted stones, and I love not doing that. This is prong set, but you know, I like building art pieces. So this is kind of like a shooting star from the
I think it's
trillion
awesome.
That's
cut
awesome.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think that's an amazing design. I love
That's
it.
very
you.
awesome.
Little asymmetry and
So pretty.
Super cool.
wildness, and so having like the best time.
I'll use my really bad editing skills to make sure the video gets in there.
Thank you. Oh, right. Sure. So anyways, thank you, Patrick, for you know, being such a is it a good or a bad influence? I'm not sure, because I was trying to perfect like the stand around brilliant forever, and so then he's like, nah, come to the dark side and do a triangle. And so that was awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. And I just scrambled my agates. Did you guys scramble agates? That's like what I like to have for breakfast. So Kyle also has a little video of this. I think it's a video that I sent you. Steve got to go rock hounding without me in Southern California in the Mojave. I know. But I instructed him that of course he needs to bring back rocks, and he did. And I told him to get some of the pink Mojave, and he did. And I'll save that one for later. But I did, like I said, get a new blade on my we have the 10-inch and then we have the 20-inch. And my 10-inch was like so dull, and I didn't know how dull until I put the new saw blade on, and I was like, this is like butter. I mean, and you start hating yourself when you have a dull blade. Like, I don't want to play with the rocks anymore, you know, and like, you don't want to feel that way. You want to have a bad attitude about agates. Yeah, yeah, because it hurts.
I don't want to hurt my agates.
Yeah. It's work somehow, and you don't want that. And so this is the insides, and of course not doing justice, but it's got like kind of a root beer through clear through pinkish hue, and then there are these wild brush strokes of this white that I mean, it almost does like
whoa.
Yeah, it was a total whoa. I'm like, you know, not only did I not get to go, but Steve brought back this really unique it's almost tubey, because they're if I didn't know any better, it looks like kind of grass skeleton material. You know, they're strandy white tube thingies that also kind of terminate in like brush stroke fluff, you know, like fringe. Have you seen that kind of thing going on in your material? Or yes, actually.
The wispy kind of stuff.
Yeah, the wispy. I don't have any. What we call here. It wispy agate.
That's we called it wispy. Well, it looks like white wisp, like somebody took like you said, a paintbrush and just threw some brush strokes of white in there. So we just called them white wisps or white clouds.
Yeah, and I mean, but they're so sort of angular, and then as I'm cutting it, you know, like it's totally right.
Sorry,
doing martial arts theater again. It's almost like going through characters of like kanji or something like that, and there's it's a different word on each slab type thing. I mean, they're just there was so much variety. I'm like, okay, there's not even a pattern here. This is like just this beautiful paint chaos, kind of Jackson Pollock style, you know?
Yeah,
love it.
That's awesome.
Anyway, thanks, Steve. And backlit, I think I included some backlit pictures, and you know, everything's sexier. Like, you know, if it's clearing, you've got to backlight it. And I was just like, everybody talks about like, you need to be able to like put a little LED in that, jewelry design so that you can light that bad boy up,
Yeah.
Yeah, these
That's
future
awesome.
goals.
Like, how do you do that?
So anyways, that's the shows and tells that I brought along. And I'm going to go ahead and swing us right into the words of wisdom and say, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. So, some of us who have been learning new technology and that sort of thing, it's like, boy, just when you think you're going to completely melt down, or just before you stop right before that, like, you just almost got to the dinosaur, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
go that extra 5 minutes and see if that miracle is right around the corner. So that being said, how about you guys, Julie and Brian? What do you say?
Well, what about yours? Why don't you say your piece?
Well, nutshell version would be don't lick rocks, which would
Yeah.
also be cleaning your rocks. I did like everybody else did. I always say that won't happen to me. Happens to somebody else. Well, to everybody else out there, I am somebody else. So it happened to me. Gloves, face shield, and chlorine in your bucket water, I think would probably be a smart move as well. So that's my words of wisdom. Don't take your cleaning for granted.
It's excellent and practical, and I'm sure that many of us are so lackadaisical that it could be us tomorrow.
You
That
get
it was you
complacent.
today.
Yeah, and it damn near killed me. So
Yeah. And I would say for everybody who thinks that they just can't rockhound because they don't feel well, or they don't feel like they can do it because they hurt, they'll go, when they feel better, go out there and push yourself. Let rockhounding be your medicine. Go out there, and every time you can go further and farther. And go where people don't go, because that's where you're going to find the best rocks.
Love it. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great advice. And how about you, Kyle? What you got?
I I kind of want to go. I mean, I didn't have anything else planned, but since we had a kind of negative comment on the Eclipse video,
Yeah. Wah, wah,
I-
wah.
Uh-oh.
wah, wah, wah.
Wah,
I'm
wah.
gonna delete it later. Like,
What comment,
Do it.
Kyle? It doesn't exist anymore.
I'm
it
gonna
does.
go look at it.
Yeah, do it now because it's going away.
I took a screenshot. I'll send you guys the screenshot.
Okay.
It kind of because that's what Karen was asking about the music thing earlier. Is going based off that comment, and I went and read it. I'm like, man, that's kind of, it's not so much as constructive like feedback. It's like it's negative. It's really negative.
There's a little bit of that.
No, it was like straight up negative. Like, so this is gonna be for anyone that either does content creation or wants to get into it. There is gonna be negative comments, and the knee-jerk reaction is gonna be to reply to it almost immediately, like brr, 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 this is why you're wrong. No, sometimes the easiest thing you can do is just okay, and then delete it. Just like don't fuel the fire, because you can't win an argument on the internet.
Nope.
Period. Just it's easier to be like delete, forget. Okay, I'm gonna go on. Go on the rest of the day.
They tell you that you can't fix stupid, right? But that's not entirely true.
Brian has no filter, by the way.
Yeah, I don't.
That's okay. Join us.
You can fix stupid. The problem is they.
Oh.
Well, that's
Yeah,
just my. It just okay.
I couldn't help it. It makes me laugh.
I'll put a beep in there so people will leave people guessing. What did he say?
Hey, see, we have a running joke.
You have a running gag.
We have a running joke on our channel that says nobody needs to know what Brian said, and we always cut it. Nobody needs to know what Brian said.
So
Do it.
Well, Brian said, and then it goes. Nobody needs to know. And
You know
said,
what Brian says, because Brian usually opens his mouth and says something, and we just don't ever put in.
I say what I think.
But anyway, you know what? To that content creator, the music that, you know what? The people that you create what you want to create, and people are going to gravitate to you. The people who like you for you are going to gravitate to you. They're not going to, who cares what one person out of thousands of others,
Yep.
you know, and that one comment, yeah, it does like irk you all day, maybe into the next, but you know, it's one person, and that person doesn't even matter. They're sad and they're mean and they're a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. It's a troll looking to pick a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's also one of those things, like, chances are they're not going to say that to your face in person.
Oh,
It purely behind the screen. That's
oh yeah. Yeah. So you create if you want to put music on yours, you do it, because
right.
people who watch you because they like your content, and they like you
for what you're doing.
For what you're doing.
That's what everybody tells us. They like what Julie produces because it's real, it's authentic, and
who cares if that one person?
Yeah, who cares about the one? We're
Yeah.
not catering to everybody else. We're built. What Julie does is for herself, and then shares it with everybody else. And if it's liked, it's liked. If it's not, it's not. So be it. But we're not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
you can't.
But I
please
wouldn't even
everyone.
worry about. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, you can't please everyone. Don't even worry about that
You
comment.
rain on your parade a little bit though when you get that one negative comment. Which is
And
funny.
that's why
It's
you
so weird.
Just leave the
Yeah,
comment.
delete it.
It's one of those things like, are you going to lose sleep tonight? No, I'm not, because I'll sleep just fine. I'll go to bed about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm good. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
No,
Yep.
no.
You are entitled to have an opinion, but you're better off if you keep it to yourself. That would be
Yeah.
my response.
Yeah.
Before I pass
all
the
good.
torch over to Kurt, I will say, if anyone thinks they can do a better job at editing, feel free to apply, because we don't make money
Yeah.
off the channel. We are not monetized. None of us make any
We're a
money.
nonprofit organization at this
Wow.
point by choice. You know, we could have
That's even
monetized
tougher,
a long
yeah.
time ago. Boy, did we ever have the hours? Think about it. So
Oh, I know.
Wow.
They're way over.
If you feel
Yeah.
you can do better jobs on editing the podcast for no pay whatsoever, and be on a time budget and deal with a bunch of tangents every single week, yeah, well, go ahead, apply.
Yeah. Here's the job. Have fun. Let's see how you do.
How do you do it?
Oh yeah, good on you there, Kyle. Absolutely. How about you, Kurt? What's up?
Well, I was gonna say something, but Julie already kind of said it, which is if you are getting into rock hounding and you don't know what's around you, get out and go find it. There's always something you can find. But then there's also, like, whatever you take with you, bring it back with you. Don't leave trash and fill in your
Yeah.
holes. And
Yes.
the other day we were like 10 miles out somewhere, and there was a freaking refrigerator just box right there.
Come on.
And then like 50 feet away, a TV. Like,
Wow.
Do you
Yeah.
think that they found their way back? You know, they were dumping them so far out so that
I don't know, it's like
they,
the gas
they wouldn't
station-
find their way back to the house.
it's like the money they spent to like drive out there, they could have taken to a dump yard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Dummies.
awful. Yeah. Ridiculous. Don't
So-
be that guy either.
Don't be
Yeah.
that guy.
or gal. Don't be that guy or gal.
Right.
Or gal. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't.
Yeah. It was one of those, like all
Don't discriminate here.
Person, don't let's not leave anybody out.
particular,
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, we don't
individual.
discriminate. You're all equally guilty.
Yeah. That's right. You're special like everyone else.
That's right.
So you guys, how do we find you on the socials? If some like one person out of like the myriad of folks that have watched tonight don't know who you are, how do they find you?
On YouTube, we are AZ Rockhound Expeditions. And on Facebook, we are AZ Rockhound Expeditions. And on
Shopify,
we are
AZ Rockhound Expeditions.
AZ/
No dash.
AZ dash Rockhound dash Expeditions at myshopify.com.
There you go.
And on Instagram, AZ Rockhound Expeditions.
Yeah,
It's very
Excellent.
she
easy.
made it really simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
We like that.
And we made it AZ because we are in Arizona. So we are AZ. But if we ever go international,
A
we
to
will
Z.
change it to A to Z.
A to Z.
So smart.
There you go.
That's
So.
awesome. And so, yeah, I'm sure that a bunch of people not only will be, finding you over on Instagram if they weren't already following you, even if they knew about you over here on YouTube and that sort of thing. And then you like, if you're open for people coming to your claim, then I'm sure that you've got a bunch of people drooling seriously on their keyboards right now after having watched it. So
Yeah. And
Email us.
our email address is, you can guess it, azrockhoundexpeditions@gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay. And so contact them. Go get some beautiful rocks. And again, Brian, thank you so much for being here and not being so sick. And thank you, Julie. It was such a pleasure to meet and hang out with both of you. And hopefully you'll come again. Like, we'd love to see, like the new stuff and whatever happened to that one crazy little agate that like glows from the inside and all this stuff that there's some cliffhangers, or if something starts growling at you again. We'll need to have
I want to know what that was.
Yeah,
you and me both, but I really don't want to go looking for it.
Right. You're not going to bait that bad boy.
We don't record a lot out on the claim anymore, but I always bring my camera just in case.
Because you just never know.
You never know.
Or you maybe leave it behind and then you'll find out what it is.
Yeah.
You
never know.
I want to thank you guys for having us on your
thank
show.
you so much.
And we'd be glad to come back anytime.
Yep.
Fantastic. Cool. All right. So on behalf of the entire podcast crew, thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end and hanging out in the chat and hanging out in the Discord all week long. We love you. Get out there and do some rock hounding. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.